Fashion designers and healthcare professionals from across the country were connected online this week under the social media handle hashtag Mask67 Challenge. It was founded to encourage the fashion industry to play a supportive role in the fight against the pandemic by donating masks. This amid the huge shortage of PPE. Olani Zulu, the chairman of Play 2 Legal, was part of the 67 minutes virtual masterclass. He joins us now to tell us about the outcomes. A very good afternoon to you, Olani, and thank you very much for your time. Just, give our viewers, just, I suppose, a breakdown of exactly this initiative and what it is that was picked up from the masterclass.
Thank you so much for having me. The masterclass is organized by Play 2 Legal with the aim of getting the fashion industry to give back, at this time of the pandemic. The fashion industry was quite badly affected by the COVID-19, like all the other industries. But we're saying that at this time, the fashion industry can give back in terms of the masks, in terms of the PPEs as well. So what we did this week, we invited established designers like Sheldon Kopman of Naked Ape, as well as Zamamate of Zaf. And we invited also some artists, graphic, fine artists and fine design. So as the conversation was taking place, which was for 67 minutes, because, it's inspired by the Nelson Mandela Day. So while the designers were busy designing, we're busy discussing the impact on their businesses, as well as discussing how this whole pandemic is going to change, the fashion industry. The sketchists, or they were busy drawing, and designing what we're calling the Mask 67, So the question that we asked them was that if Nelson Mandela was still alive, what kind of mask would he wear, So we got artists like Steve Mendy, as well as Fistin Kalala from the DRC. They designed what in their interpretation would be, a COVID mask that is carrying, a COVID mask that, aspires to the values of Ubuntu, So basically, that's what that's how the evening unfolded, basically.
Well, Annie, you mentioned that you guys, were obviously in conversation and interaction with some established designers, but perhaps would this have maybe also been an opportunity for, up-and-coming aspirant designers to show exactly what it is they can do, graphic designers, of course, and, fashion designers?
Yes, definitely, because the Mask 67 online challenge is ongoing for as long as we've got the COVID-19 pandemic. And the designers will be able to log on Twitter as well as Facebook. They can just follow the hashtag Mask67 Challenge, and they will be able to get basically the do's and the don'ts, of making masks. What kind of fabrics, should they choose? What kind of design, should they follow? The reason why we got established designers is because they've got something to say and something to give, to the industry that has given them so much.
What exactly did you get from the established designers who you say have a lot to give and a lot to share, and I suppose a lot to teach as well? What was, the feedback from them in terms of how COVID-19 has affected them? And I mean, obviously they would want to make sure that they play their part in, sending the message across of wear your mask, make sure you find the right kind of mask to wear. But what feedback did you guys receive from fashion designers and graphic designers about how this pandemic has affected them?
Basically, with a lot of events, fashion events and just any other daily events getting cancelled, it meant that designers are sitting with bulks and bulks, of bespoke fashion that they can no longer, give to clients because the season has now passed. We had speakers like Alana Finley. Alana Finley worked with the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. She, we also had Dr. Mlauli, who was actually the host Dr. Mlaul has got a huge experience in the industry. So what they were doing is, and what we got from that is that, from the fashion industry being inspired by the changes in season and the trends, this time the fashion industry has to be inspired, by the demand, because the demand has changed. When you saw the queues at shopping centers and everywhere, no one was queuing to buy clothes. Most people were queuing, for example, to buy alcohol, and buy other essentials, So it meant that people had now, changed. They're not going to the Durban July anymore. Instead they're going to hunker down and stay at home. So, designers have to design and follow, what the demand in the market is out there. However, in the coming weeks, what we will be doing is that Dr. Mlauli and other guests will be actually meeting online under the hashtag Mask67 Challenge, and we will be unpacking all these issues. And up-and-coming designers will be able to get a lot of knowledge and a lot of guidance. Also on the day, we had Dr. Masimula, who's a general practitioner. And she was also giving guidelines as to, what, for example, they say not all faces are equal,
yes.
Or are the same size, So when the designer designs a mask, for example, they have to take all that into consideration, the type of fabric that they are using. For example, she gave guidance to say that, for example, your fabric must be breathable, but your fabric also must not be permeable,
yes.
By
yes.
the virus, so, they have to take all these things into consideration.
Of course. Polani Zulu, thank you very much for your time. He is the chairman of Play 2 Legal, of course, just letting us know about the Mask 67 challenge that incorporates designs from graphic designers as well as fashion designers as they try to play their part in raising, the message and spreading the message about staying safe during this COVID-19 pandemic.